This is Earth, or at least it was. Now it's stuck in an endless winter, frozen and forgotten. Don't worry though, humanity lives on in space, at least for now. Resources are running short, and it's only a matter of time before what's left of society collapses or starves. So here's the plan. We're going back to Earth, setting up a base, and reclaiming lost knowledge, all with the hope that one day we can farm on the frozen soil. If we fail, everyone starves. So let's get to work. This is the Winter Rescue. Guess what? Double Cells on Spotify. It's the same content you know and love. Ad-free for premium users, perfect for binging uninterrupted. Just thought I'd let you know. Look at that! Another mod pack that starts with you crashing on a new planet. Guys, I just play the mod packs. I don't write how the story starts. We have to act fast because in 3 days' time, there's going to be a massive blizzard. Oh my gosh, there's a ton of stuff to do. If we're gonna brave this upcoming blizzard, then there's a bit of prep work we have to get started on. Like always, let's take inventory. So there was a tutorial that gave me a couple sticks for starting a fire, a water pouch, 16 rations, some mittens, a shovel, and 3 magnesium nuggets, which I guess we can use to start a fire. Plus, we have a brand new fancy menu. There's a section where we can put on clothing. Let's add our mittens to keep ourselves warm. We also have a menu that shows us our health and dietary needs. Looks like we're good with fat, protein, carbohydrates, and vegetables. And then of course, an archive where we can see all of the knowledge we've accumulated. But we won't worry about that. Let's start simple. Our first goal is to get some flint. Flint or any type of debris that we can find buried in the snow. You can tell there's something buried under the snow when you find these little mounds. Sometimes you'll even see these sticks sticking out of the ground. Those will be important as well. Alright, we have our flint. Let's go ahead and make a knife. And using that knife, we're gonna have to collect vines and sticks. Now, one thing that throws me off is that this is a frozen wasteland, so I can't imagine that vines are going to be that abundant. Turns out that's not the case. If we take our knife and we break some grass, look at that! We get vines. If you break a dead bush, you get sticks. Alright, so what are we going to do with these vines? Well, we have to dry them out, so let's make a drying rack. I think 3 should do it. Now, the reason we want to dry out these vines is because we need straw. You see, it's sunset, and with the night comes the harsh cold, so naturally we're going to have to start a fire. Now that we have our straw, let's go ahead and convert it into rope. And with this rope, we finally have access to tool creation. I'm thinking we should make an axe with 2 flint, a stick, and some of this twine that we made. And now that we have an axe, I think we can start working towards making a fire by breaking these rotten wood logs. And every once in a while, if you're lucky, you'll find these spruce logs sticking out of the ground. I guess they're the remains of old trees. Okay, this seems as good a spot as any to make a campfire. 2 logs, some straw, and with that, we have ourselves a pile of logs. There's no fire there. Well, that's because every campfire needs fuel, which is exactly what these rotten logs are for. You just toss them on top of the campfire, and then we have some sticks. Well, we had sticks. We'll have to get more. Actually, I think we can make do with flint. So we'll have our flint in our offhand. We have our magnesium nugget in the other hand. That should act some type of crude flint and steel. Let's see if it works. There we go. So we have a campfire here, and it's only going to burn so long as we keep providing it fuel. We can't forget to keep throwing in rotten logs every once in a while. I'm feeling warmer already. So now that we're warm, plus we can see, let's start working through the night. We've made some decent progress, but there's still a lot to do. Like making some torches, which the rotten wood is perfect for. And then from there, I think all we have to do is place the sticks on the campfire, and that should give us some free torches without the need for charcoal or coal. Let's see if this actually works. Look at that. We have light. Well, what do you know? Even torches provide some heat. Are you enjoying the video? If you are, leave a like and a hype. That way I can keep making more videos. Usually the nights are a little colder, but as you can tell by the weather forecast, we have a warming coming up, so we can still power through. So if we want to get wood planks, then we're going to have to create a pickaxe. Sounds a little odd, but trust me. Just 2 flint on top, some more twine, and a stick. Now that we have our pickaxe, we can mine stone. I think there's stone in here. There should be stone. Ah, we hit stone. Nice. Which means we've officially entered the Stone Age. Daytime already? Wow, that was a short night. Now that we can see, it's going to be a lot easier to collect more spruce logs, which I'm pretty sure are rare, so we're going to have to do quite a bit of trekking. Maybe not. Oh, that's not a spruce log, that's rotten. Okay, yeah, we have our work cut out for us. On top of that, I am already running out of food. I do have a ration, though. Where is it? Suggests cook with water. Well, what if I don't eat it with water? That's pretty good. We'll probably want to keep our sprinting to a minimum then, at least until we can get fishing. Wait a minute, there are berries here. Oh, and there's the weather forecast. So we have plenty of wood, lots of cobblestone, but if we want wood planks, we're gonna need a chopping block. And to make our chopping block, we need stone. Now, before people start telling me, oh, make a furnace, cook the stone in a furnace, make it smooth stone. Well, one, that's no fun. And two, there's already a method. We're gonna shift and place our cobblestone, add some straw, some logs on top, and then with our fire starter, we're just gonna ignite this and let it burn. The cobblestone is gonna cook under those logs and straw just for a little bit until we have leftover stone at the bottom. It's a very simple, primitive process, but it does work, and it will yield us with 8 pieces of smooth stone. While we're waiting for that to cook up, the next thing we probably want to worry about is shelter. This blizzard is going to be merciless, and we need somewhere safe away from the snow. Now, I could just dig into this mountainside here, but like I said, that's no fun. Instead, why don't we take a page out of reality and make an igloo? To make an igloo, we're going to need some snowballs to make snow blocks, and then we'll combine the snow blocks with more snowballs to make this packed snow, which is basically snow bricks. Now, collecting the snow would be a lot faster if our flint shovel didn't break so easily. We need a crafting table to make regular stone tools, and it won't be long until we get it because our stone is finally finished. And now that we have it, let's go ahead and combine it with our logs. This leaves us with one chopping block. You just place the log, and then I think you right-click it or left-click it. No, you left-click it. Breaks up the wood. And now we have a crafting table. Oh my goodness, I hate that there's moss carpet on the floor. You know, I find that kind of strange how there's moss everywhere despite the fact that this world is frozen over, or at least it should be. Maybe it's starting to thaw, I don't know. Let's go ahead and make a regular shovel, and now we can collect all the snow we need. I'm not going to spend too much time making the most elaborate igloo here. We just need a simple shelter to weather the storm. In fact, I think it's better for us that we make this small. Okay, I think there should be enough space. Now we just need the roof. Luckily for us, the mod pack was gracious enough to reward us with a door, some torches, and thatch, which we'll use for our roof. Hopefully we have enough thatch. There we go. Cozy. Add some torches, and this is going to raise our room temperature, and with that we have a house. And then the last thing I'll do, and this isn't something that you have to do, it just bothers me that the floors are a little mismatched. There we go, much better. You know what, tomorrow morning I think we should go fishing. We have the crafting table now, which means I can put together a fishing rod. My inventory is getting pretty full. Am I able to make a chest? No, I'm not. Okay, so thankfully there is a crafting recipe we can use. First things first, let's make a hammer. This recipe, of course, does require that we go to the river to collect some clay. Now the rivers, they're all frozen over, so hopefully we'll find clay quickly under the ice. Although looking at it now, it doesn't seem like our odds are very good. Oh wait, no, there's some water down here. Oh, but we don't want to touch it. Ow, that's cold. Wait a minute, what's this? Oh, we have clay right here. Clay permafrost. I think this could work. We may have to thaw it out, though. Yeah, I'm trying to craft it into clay balls and it's not working. We definitely have to thaw this out with a fire. We gotta hurry up, too. This is our last day before the blizzard. Okay, let's see if this works. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, and it does. Look at that. They're cooking. Well, I should say they're thawing. We even get the clay. Nice. You know what? Let's just thaw them all. So at this point, you're thinking, what does this have to do with making a chest? Well, let me show you. We're going to take some stone, and with this new hammer that we have, we're going to break it down into a slab. Then we're going to take the rest of the stone, make a boat shape, top it off with some slabs, and in the center, we'll put a clay ball. This results in a stone chest, ergo storage. It's not a lot of space, but it's definitely going to help us with storing items. Alright folks, it's daytime. We have less than a day actually. It's time to head to the river. But just one more thing before we go. Let's go ahead and make some cups. Reason being, well, we're gonna have to drink something during this blizzard, and as you can see, my thirst bar is getting awfully low. Of course, I do have this water bag, but that's only gonna last so long. If we're gonna survive in the long term, we have to start thinking about purifying water. That's where the cups come in. They act like buckets, or I should say they act like bottles. Now, we can't drink them yet. They're a little dirty, so we're gonna boil them once we get back to camp. But before that, let's do a little fishing. Yes, believe it or not, even in this icy world, the fish, they still survived. Although they better take the bait quicker because the ice is freezing over. If I break it, will it still have the same effect as a source block? Do fish only spawn in source blocks? This works. Check it out. I fished out these boots. 70% heat resistance. Wait, can I put this on right now? We do have our clothing tab. Will these act like socks? No, that doesn't work. That's a shame. I have 4 cod and a salmon. It should be enough to last a couple of days. We're not going to be moving that much, so I think we'll survive. Seeing as how we're already here, let's collect more of this clay permafrost. And then finally, let's collect a few more rotten logs as well. We'll need plenty of fuel for our fire. Unless there's a better source of fuel for our fire. Well, it turns out there is. Straw bales. To get a straw bale, we have to make a wet straw bale, and that's comprised of 8 pieces of straw, which means we gotta collect a ton of vines. Alright, we almost have 2 stacks of vines. This should be enough to get us through the storm as well. Let's go ahead and dry these out. And now's a good time to demonstrate how we're gonna make these. So like I said before, straw in a circle, that gives you these wet straw briquettes. Then you just toss them onto the fire, they cook up like everything else, and then we'll have our fuel for the fire that should allow us to last at least a couple of days. Once that's done cooking, it's time to boil our cups of water because I am super thirsty. Look at my thirst bar. Let's go ahead and cook these up as well, or boil them up. And that should provide us with, not a lot of drinking water, but enough. Ah, much better. It looks like we've just about completed the first chapter. It does suggest making charcoal. Don't know if charcoal is something we want right now. To make charcoal, we'll need 9 logs to make a log pile, and to me that just seems a little wasteful. We'll skip that step. Our fire went out already. Good thing we have our fuel. There we go. It's gonna burn for 479 seconds. That's a few minutes. So now that we've somewhat managed basic survival, it's time to stop surviving and start inventing. And the first step in that long journey is making a clay vessel. You see, up until this point I haven't pointed it out, but I have been collecting these random little chunks in the snow. Zinc, lead, iron. Do those names sound familiar? Well, buried out in the snow are these chunks of ore, which we'll be able to smelt once we put them inside a clay vessel and surround the vessel with straw and logs. Here's hoping this thing stacks. Nope. Alright, we'll just start with one. We'll also make ourselves a clay bucket. And now that we have these things, let's just do one more expedition to gather more wood because we have to fire them up to actually use them. We better hurry too. It's almost time for the blizzard. Well, would you look at that? There are actually leaves still around. Alright friends, right now I am sensing the call before the storm. I think it's best we get back to the base. Uh-oh, I'm getting the blizzard warning. That's it, we're going back. I hope we can hold out for the next couple of days. And there it is. My temperature is dropping. Let's go back inside. It is really coming down out there. Look at all that. Thankfully we have this. Alright, so we have everything we need. To demonstrate how this works, we're going to use this rusted copper ingot. My only fear is that I'm going to ignite my roof. You know what, let's play it safe and line the top of the roof with stone slabs. Yeah, I'm not trying to burn the place down, especially in the middle of a blizzard. So once we finish this, let's get to smelting ores. When it comes to smelting ores, I believe the same concept applies. We shift, click, place the vessel. From there we add 6 straw, 3 logs. Oh my gosh, I forgot the most important part. I hope I can collect those items back. Darn, I don't think I can. Oh no, I can, thank God. Alright, good. You want to place your copper ingot in there first. And then we need a piece of charcoal? I didn't know we needed that. Looks like this just turned into a charcoal tutorial too. Alright, you gotta take 9 of these logs, get a log pile, and then from there I believe it's just as simple as lighting the logs on fire. Where's my kindling at? Alright, we'll place our logs, light them on fire, and then you gotta cover it with dirt. And you can tell that it's cooking up in there because there's a ton of smoke rising from the dirt. So we have to wait for that before we can even think about smelting stuff inside of our ceramic clay vessel here. Looks like we have a while until that's gonna be done, so maybe we can start making a mine? I wonder if... Oh my gosh! Okay. Don't break any blocks near that kiln right there. We'll just wait it out. It took a minute, but this is finally done. So as soon as I break this block, the first thing we should see is some charcoal. And there's a pile of charcoal. Look at that, it's covered in ash. Ooh, that's a lot of charcoal. Actually, no, 5 pieces, it's not that much charcoal, but there. So now that we have it, let's open up our clay vessel, add the charcoal inside, shift, click, place, same process. Straw, logs, and then from there, just light it on fire. And once again, we wait. Alright, that didn't take nearly as long as I thought it would. Look at that! Our kiln has cracks in it now. We have a cracked vessel. And I think it just broke. And there is 1 copper ingot, nice! So that's just, I guess that's how we smelt things for now. I'd smelt even more, but we don't have a lot of metal on us. I think when it comes to the arrow slit, you need at least 4 of them. And I'm not talking about 4 different types, I'm talking about 4 of each. On the bright side, it looks like the blizzard is almost over. I thought it was going to be 2 days, I guess it's just 1 day. With the blizzard coming to an end, I think it's time to figure out our next course of action. The first path we could take involves collecting more materials, such as copper and other metals. The second path involves creating more technology, like snowshoes, tanning racks, pots, and barrels. As you can see, they are all connected, and in the end, we'll have to circle around and do everything. I'm thinking we go this route. There are a few technologies like this. The earthen stew pot plus a clay stove, which is going to help us get more water. We have the materials for them, so let's go ahead and make one of those. We'll cook this, and I wonder if we can cook the bucket as well. Nope, it's just one at a time. We'll let that cook up, and it looks like the storm stopped finally. Alright, this is perfect. We can get a running start now. So while our pot is cooking, we'll want to collect some moss outside. This is so we can make our stove. Somehow, now that we have moss, we'll be able to combine it with cobblestone, and I guess that makes us a stove, which can support a temperature of up to 400 degrees. Yes, there are different variations, and the one we're crafting has the lowest temperature capacity. Oh, it looks like a furnace. We can even add fuel in it like a furnace. Looks like our pot's done too. So then it's as simple as just placing the pot on top of the stove, right? Oh, yeah, just like that. Then you add fuel and whatever's in the pot will start to boil, like water. Speaking of water, if we want to collect a lot of it without having to scoop it up by the cupful, then we'll have to fire up this bucket as well. Thank God our bucket's done. Hopefully we can make an infinite water source with this, one that won't freeze. Alright, that's 1 bucket. We'll probably want to put it by a torch. You know, I think we'll have to expand this base. Put the torch here. The water there. Please don't freeze. Let's go get the second scoop. And you're not frozen yet. Good. And with that, we have an infinite water source, which means we can probably boil our water. Right? Yes, this has a capacity of 1,000 millibuckets. Let's go ahead and add some fuel. Don't tell me I have to start the fire here, too. And no. I have no idea how to start this fire. Wait, hold on. There's a button here that says start cooking. Oh, right here. Okay, we have our fuel, so let's just press play. And now we have a fire symbol, and the fire down here is not showing, but it is showing up there. So I guess our water's boiling now. Wonder how much fuel this is going to go through. We'll just leave that alone for now then. So now that the water's boiling, we're going to need a place to store it once it's complete. I'm going to go ahead and break up these oak planks into slabs because we're going to make a barrel. It's not the vanilla recipe, but it does the job. I think this is only for liquid storage. Let's go ahead and put this here. And looking at the earthen stew pots, it would seem we have nothing but hot water. We'll scoop this out and throw it into the barrel. Now we have a bucket's worth of clean drinking water. Let's go ahead and boil some more. I knew this infinite water source would come in handy. Looks like it only went through 2 pieces of charcoal too. Now the barrel's pretty good for storing water, but that's not its only utility. With the barrel, we can mix lots of liquids and solids to make new types of fluid. That's going to be very helpful because we're about to make a material called mortar. A useful item that's used to bind bricks together to make brick blocks. To make mortar, I need one special ingredient. This is called quicklime. To get quicklime, we're gonna have to go out and find some limestone. Finding a deposit shouldn't be too difficult. Limestone isn't all that rare. I stand corrected. It's a little more rare than I thought. Oh my gosh, finally! Alright, limestone. Here we go. Collect all of this because I'm not trying to go out and find another deposit. It took forever. So we got the limestone, 32 blocks worth. Next, we're gonna have to collect some sand. And I'm a little worried because I think the only sand we have access to is under the ice. Yep, that is not sand. And I'm freezing. There's gotta be a way to get sand without having to dive into the frozen water. Wait, is that sand? No, that's more limestone, which is actually a good thing. Oh wait, we have sand right here. Oh, it's sand permafrost. Even the sand is frozen. Uh-oh. What just happened? I'm poisoned. Did I drink the water? Jeez, that took too many hearts away from me. Okay, you can die instantly. We have to be very careful. Playing it safe, just collecting sand. And we found copper. Ooh, that's gonna be very helpful. Check it out. Sand permafrost doesn't follow the gravity rule like vanilla sand. We can break it without having to worry about the sand falling, releasing the icy water on our head. We got lots of sand and lots of limestone. Okay, it's time to put some love into this project by taking the limestone and breaking it with the stone hammer. This gives us flux, and we are going to need a lot of flux. Alright, so with our flux dust, we're going to go ahead and fire this up. And by the time this is done cooking, we should have quicklime. Ah, quicklime, there it is. Oh, a quicklime, nice. This is where barrel number 2 comes into play. With barrel number 2, we're going to fill this with water. I wonder how much water we should add. We'll add the quicklime, and it's just going to slowly start stewing in the water. I have a feeling we're going to need lots of mortar, so I should probably make more quicklime. I went to collect more wood so that we could burn more quicklime, and that's when I discovered this deposit of deep slate coal. This is a godsend. You guys have no idea how happy I am to see coal. But this isn't the only ore I've found. It turns out that when we crashed, we broke through the ground and exposed tons of ore. Let's see what we can get our hands on. Alright, so you have your typical copper deposits. Not very big, but it's exposed. And over here, what's this? Tin ore. Oh, I think tin is going to be very important. Oh, thank God we found this. This is going to be huge. We also have bauxite? It looks like a type of brown coal. Wait, why is it disappearing? Seems like we can do a few things with that, but it's not very important right now. Looks like the crash exposed an entire cave system. I've never seen a creeper like that before. Why does it look like that? We have tons of ore, a good chunk of tin, and a large chunk of copper, which is perfect because we're about to make a furnace. So with the ore we got, we're going to combine 3 copper with 1 tin. It's going to give us 4 of these bronze ingots. Thank God we have plenty of clay. So the copper and the tin are cooking up inside of our little kiln here. While we're waiting for that, I say it's about time we defrost our sand. Let's go ahead and start our fire again. Add the permafrost sand. And now that the sand is thawed out, we'll take it, put it in our barrel. It's going to combine with our lime water. Ladies and gentlemen, we have mortar. We're going to take some basic stone blocks, bind them together with our mortar. Now we have stone bricks. Just in time too, because it looks like our pottery kiln is done. Let's go ahead and break the vessel. And just as promised, 4 bronze ingots. We have our bricks, we have our bronze. But how does that lead to the creation of a furnace? Well, we gotta take the items and combine them together. First, we have to stamp the bronze into bronze sheets. We should be able to pull it off with our tree stump here, so let's give it a try. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Is this gonna work? Or do we need a better hammer? Oh, it's gotta be 2 of them. There we go. Perfect. So we have a bronze sheet. Let's go ahead and add another. Mix 2. And finally, we have a proper furnace. Hopefully we don't have to use the kiln anymore, because honestly, that method is too expensive. Oh, I've never been so happy to see such a simple Minecraft block. Alright, my friends, we are just a few moments shy of day 10. As you can see, the base has somewhat expanded. Let's take a little tour. So, starting with the outside, nothing fancy. Once again, I just went with the igloo look, although this igloo, it's probably seen better days. As for the inside, we have a main entrance room right here. This is where I'm storing basically our crafting stations and furnaces. And then back here, it's more of a storage room. We have both of our chests, our barrels, campfire, I'm gonna have to move that. And then in this section, we have our drying racks. We're making more straw. We need lots of space, and this is good for now, but eventually we'll do another expansion. Back to the quest log. It looks like we have the left side mostly covered. It's time to start making our way to the right side. According to the diagram, it looks like there's a heavier focus on machinery here. At the moment, our main overarching goal is to get iron ingots. And to get that material, there is a whole nother process that we'll have to explore. But for now, baby steps. Let's make some sandy bricks to construct a bloomery. This is of course going to require more campfires. I hope we eventually find a faster way to thaw these materials. To make sandy bricks, you're going to combine sand and clay. I believe this is the crafting recipe? Yeah. Oh, and look at that, 4. The next step is to fire these bricks up. The only problem is, once again, I'm out of wood to burn. You see, wood shortages, they've been a serious problem in this playthrough. I wonder if we can remedy that. If I recall, there were some trees, or at least shrubs, somewhere over here. I'm willing to bet that if we break the tree stumps that are keeping those leaves alive, one of them will drop a sapling. Here we are. Fingers crossed this works. Well, would you look at that? Looks like we're in business. I'm thinking we take these saplings and start ourselves a little forest. These things better grow. Got some bones here. Maybe we can speed up the process. And I can't craft bone meal. Uh-oh. I have to break it with a hammer on the tree stump. Of course. That's a shame too, because it only yields 1 bone meal per bone. Guess we have to hope to be lucky, because all we got is 3, and that better be enough. Nope. Looks like we're gonna be waiting. In the meantime, we'll make do with these little stumps out here. What is that? Is that a mammoth? That is a mammoth. Wait a minute. This is a game changer. With the hope of not sounding cruel, if we break a mammoth tusk, we get 8 bone meal. The only problem is that I'm pretty sure this thing isn't going to go down without a fight. Should I give it a try? You know what? Let's do it. Oh. Oh my gosh! That's a lot of damage. Okay, maybe we're better off not doing that. At least not yet. Another thing I've noticed is that there's a lamppost out there. And those are signs. 1,600 blocks in that direction, 1,900 blocks in that direction. This must be pointing us to a village. Should we go visit? 1,000 blocks is quite the trek. Then again, the payoff could be huge. You know what, this is definitely worth remembering. We'll come back to this. I don't have any water on me, and my food is already getting low. Alright, we got some wood. Let's go ahead and fire these up. Oh, thank God. That didn't take long. We have 8 sandy bricks here, and then I had another batch over here. That one is still cooking. And once again with the mortar, we're going to bind all of these bricks together. So this recipe is a little more expensive. 2 sandy bricks. I don't think we need these, but it was just to get the achievement out of the way. The sandy brick block's not that useful, but this next one, the sandy brick creosote oil funnel. I'm not going to read this entire paragraph out loud, but it is pretty useful. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of these sandy bricks. And in the middle, 1 ceramic bucket. This is going to make an oil funnel. This has a capacity of 8,000 millibuckets, or 8 buckets worth. So this is mainly used for storing creosote oil. To get the oil, you have to place another kiln above, burn a pile of logs. You know, the process we did to get charcoal. Once the wood is burned and the charcoal is created, the residual oil drips down into the funnel below. Now, if you've played the immersive engineering mod, then you may be familiar with something called coke coal, or coal coke. That's the formal name. You make it in a coke oven. Essentially, it's a refined version of charcoal. You apply a little more heat, and it becomes coal coke. The byproduct of coal coke is creosote oil. That's the stuff we're trying to collect in this funnel right here. I wonder if we can get creosote oil if we make coal coke. Originally, I was going to use a log pile, but I don't have that many logs. I do have, however, a block of coal, which we're going to burn. According to our skill tree, if we burn a block of coal, we'll get coal coke. For this to actually work, you have to surround it with stone bricks. It can't be anything else. Gotta retain that heat, and stone bricks, they do the job. From there, I guess we just set the top on fire, wait for it to burn, and once it's done, we may have creosote oil along with coal coke. Let's give this a try. There we go, and then we cover the top, and I don't know if it's working. Oh. It needs to be a coal pile, which is what I thought I had, but I made a coal block. What I made had the extra piece of coal in the middle, but no, for it to be a coal pile, you have to take that piece out. No wonder it wasn't burning. Let's go ahead and craft this the proper way. And now to ignite it. Fingers crossed this works. There we go, that's what I wanted to see. All the smoke rising right through that block. That means it's burning up. Hopefully, we'll get creosote oil once this is done. Now on to the reason we want this oil. We have to make something called treated wood planks. This material is essential for crafting a lot of our future machines. To make treated wood planks, you have to surround a bucket of creosote oil with any type of plank. So once this is done, if we have the oil, that's what we're doing next. Oh, looks like it's done. Let's see if we got what we wanted. Pile of coal coke. Alright, that's promising. And in here, 1,800 millibuckets worth of creosote oil. Perfect. Let's go ahead and scoop this out. And here it is, my friends. 1 bucket of creosote oil. And we gotta be very careful not to swim in it because now we're flammable. You'll burst into flames if you soak in this stuff. I think it also destroyed our drying racks. Oh, what a waste. Let's go ahead and combine our planks with the oil. And now we have treated wood planks. Love that achievement name. Take a look, folks. Gotta say, they are some pretty nice looking planks. If we want to succeed, we're gonna have to make a lot more oil. The only problem is that once again, I'm running out of fuel. We're down to 11 coal, plus none of the trees have grown outside. Not sure what I'm supposed to take from that. Are they supposed to grow? Can they even grow? I don't know, but it doesn't look very promising. We're either going to have to find more wood or get more coal. Now, I do know a place where we can probably get lots of wood. We'd have to make a very far trek to a village in chunks we haven't even loaded yet. My only concern is that I'm running out of food. Fishing takes way too long, and finding a patch of water that's not frozen, even longer. Thankfully, there is an alternative source of food. I'm so sorry. The world is frozen over, I have no choice. There it is. Wolf meat. An excellent source of protein. Plus, we get wolf hide. With a couple wolf hide, we can make rawhide. And once we refine it, we get regular leather. The reason I want regular leather is because we're trying to make snowshoes. 4 pieces of leather for 1 pair of snowshoes. Not a bad trade-off. That way we can safely trek to the village to get more wood without having to worry about sinking in the snow. I guess it's time to hunt some wolves. And according to my map, I see my next targets. Now, we want to play it safe, because wolves, they do hang out in packs. I can deal with 1, but 2 or 3? I don't know, that's asking a bit much. I think we're out of the aggro range for that wolf, so if I attack this one, he shouldn't be provoked. Nope. He saw it. Uh-oh. Sorry. Ow, you deal tons of damage. We're cutting it close here. I think we better collect our food and get out of here. Oh my god, of course it doesn't cook in the furnace. Alright, now we wait, we'll eat, we'll heal, and then I think we'll be off. I've never been a fan of eating anything you could call a pet, but we have no choice. Let's see how this tastes. It tastes nourishing. Good enough. You know what, speaking of food, let's see how we're doing with our diet. So, honestly, I can't really tell how to read this. Vegetables are green, that must be good. Carbohydrates are orange or brown? I wish it gave us more to go off of than just colors. One thing I know for sure is that we have not been doing well on carbs. There's no bread in this world, no wheat. Thankfully, I have been picking up these frozen seeds every once in a while, so I think we'll be able to thaw them in this campfire. And if my theory is correct, and it looks like it is, then this means we finally have the means to farm torch flower seeds? What am I supposed to do with torch flower seeds? What is a torch flower? Oh, it's these things. It's not what I was hoping for, but at least I know we can thaw seeds, so if we can get our hands on some wheat, we'll be golden. I got food, water, a weapon. I think it's time to make a trek to the village. We may even be able to find wheat seeds there. Hopefully we can make it alive without snowshoes. Those cheapskate wolves only dropped 3 pieces of hide. Nowhere near enough to make snowshoes. Alright, 1,600 blocks in that direction. I'm taking this lantern. Wish me luck, folks. It's gonna be a long journey. One thing that concerns me is I'm walking over what seems like a frozen lake or an ocean. This is thin ice, so are we running the risk of breaking through the ice and falling in the water? I hope not, especially at night. I can hardly see, and looks like it's a new moon, so it's not very bright out right now. Another sign! Alright, how far are we now? 1,200. Oh, this is going by a lot faster than I thought. Perfect. Oh, and the wolves are hostile at night. Ooh, that guy is not happy to see me. I don't want to fight right now. I just want to get there alive. What the heck is that? Is that the village? You see that light over the hill? Oh, there are a couple wolves in my way. Let's go around those. I think that's the village. And of course, they already see me. Nice. No, it's not the village. It's someone's lone outpost. There's another checkpoint. Let's see how far we are now. This is a checkpoint, right? Only 700 blocks away. Nice. I hope there's a bed in here. We haven't slept in a long time. Actually, we haven't slept at all. No bed, but there is a sleeping bag, an abandoned package, a barrel with an inventory that is yet to be generated. Oh my goodness, I think we scored. Whoa. Frozen white turnip, frozen venison. There's a ton of frozen meat and vegetables in here. Yeah, we're taking all of this. What about the rest of these? Do I just break this open? I'm tempted to break this open, but if I do, I know I won't have the inventory space to store whatever's inside. Same with these. You know what? Let's go to bed. Ah, my goodness, this feels amazing. Good night. I know one thing. We are definitely taking this. We'll call this Hut, and we'll be back for it later. Oh, look at that. A tree. And flowers? I guess this world isn't as frozen as I thought. Anyways, we're 700 blocks away. Let's keep going. Whoa. What the heck is going on over there? Is that a forest? It's got what look like tree stumps sticking out of the ground. This is gonna be a big detour, but it may be worth it. That is a forest. We just found an entire birch forest. Or at least what was once a birch forest, but none of this wood is rotten, which means we can definitely use this for our charcoal piles. This is just what we needed. Do we even need to go to the village anymore? Let's go ahead and collect, well, the entire forest, at least until our axe breaks. My one fear is that in this mod, does the wood rot on its own, or is this a separate block entirely? I hope the wood doesn't rot, because if it doesn't, we'll be back to collect all of this when we have more inventory space. Yeah, check it out. Look at the map. It's called a destroyed birch forest. Oh my gosh, what a score! Look at all these trees. Alright, my axe is broken. I have 2 stacks of wood. Well, a stack and almost a second in my inventory. Let's go ahead and mark this on our map. We will be back for this later. Wait a minute. Is that what I think it is? It is! We got a wandering trader down there. Hello, my friend. I hope you have something of value for me. Flower, coral, dye, lily pad, pointed dripstone, and a combustion chamber. For 25 emeralds and 16 metal scraps. Well, I don't know what I'm going to use that for, and I don't have anything you want, so goodbye. It's a shame we didn't have anything to trade, but still, it was nice seeing a familiar face. No, another forest? What's that one, a spruce forest? No, this is an oak forest. Why isn't there anything like this by the spawn? I have to travel miles just to get here, but you know what? You only need a couple trips and then you don't have to come back ever again because there's just that much wood. We got one right here and then we have another one over there. Yeah, it's oak wood all right. This one's even bigger than the birch forest. Oh my god. Is that the village? And is that gonna kill me if I get near it? Kinda looks like a dinosaur. Terror bird. I don't like that name. Drop 2 pieces of chicken and a feather. Of course. As soon as I see it, I sink in the snow. What is this? A woolly rhino. Not gonna mess with you. You have a lot of health. I never expected to find a regular intact... As I was saying, I never expected to find a regular intact forest. Thought they were all gone. This is the village, right? No, this doesn't look like the village. You know what? I'll take it, though. This place is cozy. Maybe we should make this our base. It's got log piles and a small garage. Wait, what does that mean? Oh! I did not mean to do that. Oh my gosh, there is tons of stuff in here. Oh! It's right next to the village. You know what? I think we're going to relocate here because it just makes sense. We have the oak forest over here. The birch forest is over there. Plus, the village is just right here. This space is full of stuff. Why wouldn't we want to live here? Let's go to bed. Let's sleep on it. The last thing that will determine my decision is if the village is actually worth it. So far, that's looking to be the case, but let's see. Should be just over this hill, or no, it's actually on the hill. Please tell me that the villagers are alive at least. That alone will be enough for me to stay. Don't see a lot of activity yet. We got a cat, that's a good sign. Where's your owner? Anybody here? Oh my goodness, someone is home. The villagers are actually alive. Unemployed, but alive. All right, I'm making an executive decision. We are going to relocate our entire base to this side of the map. What kind of villagers do we have here? I hope they're not all unemployed. I will say this, none of them are farmers. Whoa, compressed biscuit pack. Pack nuts? Yep, that's it. We're staying. Alright, so we just wanted to confirm that the village was here. Let's go back to the hut that we found, drop our stuff off. We're going to want to make sure we have plenty of inventory space because we're going to move everything from base A to, well, I guess this is base B. Alright, I think this is as good as it gets when it comes to an empty inventory. Actually, we don't need the bricks. We'll need our water, our food, and then a weapon to defend ourselves. Let's go back to the old base. It was a journey, but we made it back. We're at the original sign, which means the house should be over there. It is good to be back. Alright, let's see. We have these things, those things. I thought we had more stuff to move. Oh, wait a minute. That's right, I forgot. Okay. Let's see where we're at once I take out all of the items from these chests here. And looks like we're full. Okay, now we're full. We'll toss this. We don't need that. We don't need this one oak log. Honestly, scorched earth with this inventory. We don't need a lot of it. Somehow we managed to fit everything inside the inventory. Of course, we are leaving a few garbage blocks. We're leaving these campfires here. Everything else, not really that important. Let's go to bed and leave first thing in the morning. It is a beautiful day 15. Give it up for day 15. Nice and sunny according to the weather forecast. A perfect day to move. Let's head back to our new base. Alright, we made it safe and sound. Let's unpack. In fact, I'm just going to rip up a bunch of this stuff. It's kind of in the way. We have no need for couches or... what is this? Fire pit? Well, we have a need for that. And then we also have this weird mushroom growing station. I don't know what that's about, but we're gonna get rid of that too. Ow! Oh my gosh! I'm not the only one living here. Whoa, whoa, whoa. This place is infested. Should be the last of them. I hope. Well, I hear more outside, but I let them freeze. Now that that's settled, I'm gonna go ahead and make a ladder because I am dying to see what items are being stored up here. Alright, so we have an abandoned package, which has an iron sword, a coal briquette, and what is that? Rusted iron ingot. Ooh, that's gonna be useful. Alright, package number 2, bunch of flint and limed coal. Don't know what that's for. Then we have the small garage. Rye bread. That should solve our carbohydrates issue. I think these are all food. And then this is the last one. Also, more food. Okay. We'll store all of our food in here. It's about time we get organized. We have packed nuts, random seeds, sweet berries, cooked wolf meat, compressed biscuits, compressed biscuit pack, rye bread, and dried vegetables. Oh, I almost forgot. There are 2 more. This place is loaded. It's more or less the same. Alright, so I think it's safe to say that we're settled in now. The last thing I want to do is set up a station outside. We are going to be working with more fire, and the last thing I want is for this blessing to get burned down. I'm going to dig up the snow, and it's here. We'll make lots of creosote oil. We'll put the vessel... We'll put the vessel here. Now, I don't have a lot of coal, but I do have plenty of logs to make log piles. Let's go ahead and light this up. As you can see, this is empty. Here's hoping we get more. Let's check our charcoal here. Alright, we have charcoal and creosote oil. Nice. So essentially we just rinse and repeat this process until we have enough. Alright, so it took some time, but we finally have 5 buckets worth of creosote oil, which means we can make lots of treated wood. Honestly, with the amount of oil we have, I'm wondering if we're gonna make too much treated wood. So now that we have the treated wood, one of the first things we're gonna use with it is get sticks. Not just any sticks, treated sticks. And with the treated sticks, we're going to craft a tanning rack, the perfect item just for processing leather. Now, I've been killing wolves off camera, and when you bind the wolf hide together, you get rawhide. Now, this rawhide on its own is pretty much useless. It's the predecessor to workable leather, but if you take the rawhide, put it in the tanning rack, and then craft yourself a flint processing knife, you can get yourself some very useful leather. And then from there, it's just rinse and repeat. I think the bottleneck in this process is actually finding enough rawhide to make more leather. Beautiful. We've just completed a bunch of tasks. Now the big question. We only have 4 pieces of leather. Do we choose to use this leather for our next quest? We'd have to use 3 of the leather to make a tool called a bellows. Or we can strive to get more leather. But for that, we'd have to make our journey easier with some snowshoes. I'm thinking we make the snowshoes. You know what? We need them. They are essential, so let's do it. 4 pieces of leather, 3 pieces of wood. Ladies and gentlemen, we now have a means of walking on the powdered snow. Let's go ahead and open up our clothing tab, and then we'll apply the snowshoes right here. Right? Where the heck can I put these on? Unless... Oh, they take the place of my boot slot. Fine. Can we actually craft socks? We can craft socks. It's time to go to bed because tomorrow we have to wake up bright and early. We're gonna have to go hunting for more leather. Unless the villagers have leather they can donate. We haven't really paid them a visit since our first discovery. Let's go check it out. Wow, are we faster with the snowshoes? I feel like we have a little bit of sprint in our step when we walk on snow. That's gotta be because of the snowshoes. Plus, it's like we have like auto jump now. I don't remember having that. And hopefully they have what we need here. So I'm a little worried right now because for some reason, all of the villagers I saw the other day are gone. And I can't help but wonder if it's because I've been here. I didn't do anything to them, but I hope that they weren't attacked by zombies or anything. But I don't think I've even seen a zombie in this video. So what could have killed them? Ooh, I'm taking the smoker. They're all gone! Well, there's this one guy. Oh my gosh. No way. I'm taking this, I'm taking that, I'm taking obsidian. Wow. I'm gonna keep you alive. So let's just go into your house, and I'll trap you where you can stay nice and safe. Just go. Get in there. Go. Come on. This is for your own good. Wow. Talk about stubborn. Oh my god. He wants to stand on that grindstone. Oh, I think I know how they died. This is how your species went out? Stop walking. You know what? This works out. I can keep you here. There. Stay alive. Jeez, these villagers are something else. But like I was saying, we now know how they all died. They sunk into powdered snow and froze to death, which is a shame. Should have trapped them the first time I saw them. On the bright side, this guy was rich. 3 diamonds and a bunch of rusted iron. That's going to be very helpful later. Plus, we have our wolves here now. And he knows it's his time. I'm so sorry. Whoa, I just saw something spring up out of the ground. Is that a goat? That is a goat. Do we dare challenge a goat, though? Why not? Did he drop hide? Fact. Wait a minute, hold on. Oh, fact. Yeah, we can eat that, I think. Oh my gosh, that is a large pack of wolves. That should be more than enough, actually. You know what? Let's tame one. I have the bones. The wolf's right here. Why not? First try! Wow, that was meant to be. What about another one? Oh my gosh! You think we can get one more? I think we can get one more. Wow. Let's go for 4. Nope. Alright. We went through all the bones. The rest of the rejects. It's time to collect. Oh boy, here they come. Oh my gosh, there's a lot of them. There. I think we can deal with them here. Wow, they are just killing themselves. That fall damage is going to get to them before I do. Should I just do this? I mean, this seems awfully cruel. We have to do this. We have no choice. I just feel bad that they're hurting themselves in the process. Like, there's no... You know what? Never mind. Doesn't matter. It's all of them, right? Yeah, I think that was all of them. 7 hide. Almost. I think we have to find 1 more pack. You know, had we not tamed the rest of them, I think we probably could have gotten enough. But the reason I tamed them was because there's something I want to try. See, with the treated wood, you can make a sled. And on top of that, we'll make a lead. And I believe that when you have a sled and a wolf and a lead... Let's give it a try. Maybe the wolf wasn't essential. I don't think the wolf was essential. See, because there's a separate quest line over here. It's called Day of the Tundra Traveler. You have the snowshoes. Then you have the sled with the lead. And, well, no pun intended, it led me on to believe that I was probably going to need wolves to pull this, which is why I tamed them. Guess not. Oh well, at least we have some new friends. Oh, he can ride with me. Okay, this is one way to get around. And then the rest, they'll just have to follow. Alright, here we go. Onward, my friends. We're actually traveling. Oh, this is fast! Jeez, this is super fast. Actually, it's faster when you go downhill. Wait. We're supposed to be getting more wolf hide. Are there any more wolves? You know what? Let's go back to the base and see if we can make do with the amount we have. Alright, we are back, and I'm trying to slide down as carefully as possible because this thing goes super fast. I feel like I'll go flying into the canyon below if I don't manage my speed. Okay, we're here. Welcome home. Let's process some hide. Wait, looking at it now, I think we'll have plenty. Looks like making a sled was actually a part of our main quest line, although we did skip making the chest quest. Let's go ahead and do that. To make a chest, we're going to have to tap into our bronze reserves, make bronze nuggets, and then surround those nuggets with the treated wood. Wow, treated wood is very important. And now we have a chest, which completes that quest as well. Let's go ahead and throw in our new items in here. Speaking of the treated wood, we're going to have to use even more. It's time to make our bellows. There it is. One component in a much larger machine known as a bloomery. What is a bloomery, you may ask? Well, let's go all the way back to this quest over here, where we were making our sandy bricks. It referenced a bloomery. In short, it's what we're going to use to get iron. This multi-block contraption, which, I'll be honest, I don't fully understand, is going to be constructed from sandy bricks, bellows, and a bunch of other blocks I have yet to make. I think it works kind of similar to the charcoal kiln, where you put an item in the center, and then you ignite it, and once it burns, well, the result is iron. Baby steps, my friends. We only have but one block of that multi-block bloomery, so let's make the rest. Come to think of it, where are we gonna put it? Not trying to put that in here. We'll worry about that later. Let's get the components. The next thing we need aside from the bellows is this item. 1 sandy brick to Yair. I think that's how you say that. 4 sandy bricks, 4 mortar, and 1 bronze sheet. Thankfully, we don't have to go on a scavenger hunt for these materials. We already have them. It just looks like a regular sandy brick block with holes on the sides. And now, it's finally time to construct the core block, the bloomery itself. Now, the weird thing about this mod pack is that it doesn't let you look at crafting recipes until you get a certain achievement. For example, I'm trying to click the bloomery so I can see how to make the thing, but as you can see, it says required research acquiring hardware, which is the achievement that you get when you collect an iron ingot. So, the question is, if we need the bloomery to get iron, then why do we need iron to get the bloomery? Well, here's what I'm hoping. Maybe we can find a loophole by taking this rusted iron and smelting it in a furnace. According to this, when it's smelted, it reverts to its original form. Let's see if that's the case. It's not looking very promising. By the looks of it, the only way to wipe the rust off is with the bloomery. So how the heck am I supposed to get this crafting recipe if I need iron? Wait a minute. The big quest right in the center. This is a research table. And to access the bloomery recipe, we need required research. Could this be the one thing we're missing? And it looks like we can craft it. I think we may have found our solution. Oh my gosh, I swear. This better work. We need 4 slabs and 3 planks of any kind. Okay, we have the drawing desk, and we just unlocked a ton of stuff. Don't know what that's all about. How do I position this properly? There we go, perfect. So, we have a desk, drawing desk. Perfect for research, and wow, that's a lot of stuff. All paperwork for this research has completed. What does that mean? Thankfully, we don't have to figure it out. There's an entire quest line for this. Reclaim the existing fruits is dedicated to research. Ooh, that's a lot of reading. But what do you expect? We're doing research. The research table can be used to view the technology tree and conduct research, so there's 3 steps. 1, 2, 5? What happened to 3 and 4? Oh, they're outlined in the diagram. Okay. So, what do we want to research here? Energy core, generator. Oh my gosh. Wait. This is also very overwhelming. Wait a minute. This is the one we want. Acquiring hardware. Tech points. 1,000? Don't know what that's about. So, we have to commit materials. Charcoal and, I guess, any type of iron scrap. And then the result of that research is the quest item right here, the bloomery recipe. And then we have clues down here, finish basic paper. We have to do that first, I believe. We have to examine sandy bricks and bellows, so I guess the more of these clues we have, the faster it's gonna research. We'll only know by trying it out. No suitable ink for this research. Wait a minute, hold on. Do we need, like, paper and stuff? Charcoal pencil. To complete elementary research papers, you need to use charcoal pencils and slate. We can make one charcoal pencil to write with. I mean, I guess that makes sense. You can't really research unless you have a writing tool. And then we'll have to make a pressure plate. Stone pressure plate, because we don't have paper. And there we go. What am I supposed to do with this? Well, the description says a piece of carbon to scratch simple research papers. Wait a minute. This goes there. And then the pressure plate is the paper, so it should go here, right? And now we'll create a new paper. Beautiful. Wow, there is a lot going on here. I don't even know where to begin. Like, is this a puzzle? Oh, it's a game. So we have to find matching combinations. Our goal is to clear the board. Wait, did we do a thing? Are we doing it? Okay, I think we're clearing it. So I feel like this is a little too easy unless I'm doing it wrong. Did I mess it up? I think I messed it up. You know what, let's start over. I have 4 more pressure plates here. So essentially this is a matching game. I can match these 2 together, bam, they disappear. Then I can match these 2 together or these 2 together to make them go away. The catch is that they have to have 3 open spaces adjacent to them for us to be able to use them. So take this piece for example. There are 3 empty adjacent spaces, which means it's a free piece. I can't use this one because it's surrounded on all sides, nor can I use this one because it only has 2 free spaces. So we have to act accordingly. So watch. I'm going to remove these 2, and this test tube is going to free up. There we go. The test tube is free. I think we just soft-locked our game because now there are no other test tubes that we can actually use. They're still locked. On the other hand, we have this magnifying glass, and these still kind of confuse me. So I guess the magnifying glass only goes with the numbers? But yeah, I think our game is locked. We're going to have to start over. Oh, this one looks a little more simple. And I think I'll do the rest. You probably don't want to see me do this entire puzzle. I'm pretty sure it's random every single time, so not much help, but you get the concept. I think this is it. No, we're almost done. We are almost done. There, these last 2 cogs here, and then this should wrap it up. Bam! We did it! Acquiring hardware. That's complete, which means if we go to our progress tree, where is it? We should have the recipe for the bellows, or I'm sorry, the bloomery. And there it is. 4 bronze sheets, a brick, and 4 pieces of mortar. Research is exhausting, but at least we learned a little something today. This is a very convoluted system to unlock crafting recipes. Alright, here we go. 1 of those brick blocks, 4 of these bronze sheets, and of course, mortar in each corner. And with that, we have a bloomery block. Finally! I didn't think this quest was going to take that long to complete, but here we are. Now we have to assemble it. It's part of a multi-block structure, and judging by the design, we're missing a few blocks. Let's go ahead and assemble this outside. I guess we'll put it here for now. So, bloomery goes at the bottom, and then sandy bricks. We'll put a placeholder block in the middle. Can I not put a placeholder block here? No, I guess I can't. We'll put our Tuyere, I forgot the pronunciation. And then finally, the bellows in the corner. And then I think we just right-click to assemble. Right? I mean, that's what it says. Yeah, right-click to assemble. Where do I click, though? You know what? Let's just give this a try. So, I think we're going to try to make iron now. So we shift right-click with ore in our hand. I think. Does it? Oh! Well, there we go. There's a little bit of ore in there. Oh no, we can fill it up, actually. And then we throw the charcoal on top. I think we'll need more charcoal, actually. Or what if we just use regular coal? Will that work too? Looks like that works too. Alright, perfect. We have a bloomery block. Then we're going to light this on fire. And then we have to give it oxygen. And there it is. Bloomery is working. Now, I'm not sure how often we have to supply air, but so long... Oh! I guess we have to keep supplying it. There is an animation down here. I don't know if you noticed, but the fire got a little dimmer. So as long as this is burning bright, we're all right. And no, that was not meant to rhyme. All right, so once the flame goes out, we're going to have to mine the rubble with our pickaxe as quickly as possible. Okay, see? bloomery block. Now we gotta mine, and we keep mining. We should get nuggets. Come on, nuggets. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Where are they? Oh, there we go. Oh, we got 4 iron ingots. Did we put in 4? It doesn't matter. We got 4 ingots. I'll take that over nuggets. I'm not complaining. All right, let's keep doing this process, and hopefully we'll have quite a bit of iron when we're done. Ladies and gentlemen, we have iron. And all of it was thanks to the power of research. Now, I can't help but notice that there are other technologies we should research as well, like millstones. This allows us to perform basic fuel processing, a brand new branch. You know what? I say we give it a shot. Here it is, grinding. We have to commit 2 stone and 1 charcoal to start researching. I was about to get stone from this cave when all of a sudden I discovered that for some reason there are just tons of creepers down here. Can't help but wonder if there's a spawner that I didn't see, but I went inside, placed torches. There was no spawner, unless it's deeper in the cave, but you know what? I'm not dying to find out. No, we'll get our stone from elsewhere. Okay, let's commit the items and start the research. One of the clues is 3 stone. Let's go ahead and submit that. Oh, that's already 75% of it. And then the other one was 1 piece of charcoal. Right? Or was it 2? Oh no, coal. Wow, I don't have a single piece of coal. I may have to go mine some. Be right back. Actually, you know what? I'm taking you with me. If something happens, I want you to see it. I don't like how rare coal has become. I remember back in the old days, coal was so common. Maybe I just have bad luck, but it seems like you have to go out of your way to find a piece of coal. Is that coal? It is coal. Retextured. I forgot they retextured it. Alright, we have our piece of coal. Let's go ahead and contribute this to our research. Beautiful. And now we can find out how to do grinding. I love how we have to do research for the most basic crafting recipes. Any type of stone with a stick. Huh. Bam, a piece of stone, add a stick, and now we have a millstone. Where do we place this? I guess right there. Which means we have the first item in our quest for fuel processing. Basic interface here. I'm assuming that, based off of the task name, this thing just grinds stuff. Of course, one of the rewards for completing this task is 2 pieces of rye. I think we can grind this up. So how exactly do we use this? Sneak right-click with an empty hand. We can do that. And now we have rye flour. 2 pieces. We'll probably bake a loaf of bread later. But I'm not interested in bread. I want to perfect my fuel sources. And now that we've crafted our millstone, we've unlocked new branches to start exploring the fuel refining process. So according to this tree, there are 3 paths. One involving coal, the other involving charcoal, and the last involving sawdust. Now we could make all 3 of these, and they all lead to the same fuel source, the coal briquette, if you will. The only problem is that to make these little bundles, the little predecessors, you need a mechanical press. That and a chemical reactor or bulk washing. All technology we don't have. It's the same case for the charcoal paths down here as well. We can, however, focus on this path. We'll start by placing some wood inside of the millstone. We'll grind it up. And as you can see, the wood is yielding sawdust. Oh, we even got a little extra piece at the bottom. We're gonna go outside and scoop up a bucket of creosote oil, or at least we should have some. Oh wait, we do, right there. And with creosote oil, let's pour it into the barrel where we're going to combine it with our sawdust. The result is an item called creosoted sawdust, and for every 8 pieces of regular sawdust, we get 2 of the new variation. Kind of an expensive trade-off, but hey, I guess it's just wood. It's not that expensive. Oh, we got 4. Nice. From there, we're going to take our brand new creosoted sawdust and pound it with a stone hammer. And this should make us our first briquette. If we wanted to, we could stop here. But we can take it a little further. You can stick this in a campfire, but we'll put it in a smoker. And all you have to do is heat it up, and I guess this just dries it out. From there, the creosoted variant just becomes a regular sawdust briquette. The previous version that we just had could only smelt 6.5 items, but the new variation smelts 8. So you kinda want to go the extra mile and dry it in a smoker. It has the same burn time as 1 piece of coal, but from 1 piece of coal, we got 4 more pieces of equally good fuel. And it's even better than turning the wood into charcoal, which only burns 4 items. I think this wood fuel is much better suited as sawdust briquettes. The only problem is getting creosote oil. This recipe is heavily dependent on it, and so far, our only means of obtaining the oil has been by burning log piles to get charcoal, which in turn drips creosote oil into our funnel. There's gotta be a better way. What if I told you we could skip the funnel? Not just the funnel, all of it. The log piles, the structure. There is a better way. We need something called a coke oven. The coke oven is a multi-block structure comprised of 27 coke bricks. It burns regular coal into coke coal, and the result, like I've said before, is the creosote oil. You don't have to have a funnel for it to drip down into, it's stored in the coke oven. Plus, for every piece of coal, we get 500 millibuckets of creosote oil. With this old setup, it takes 9 logs to get at least 1 bucket. At least I think it's a bucket. Either way, I think we're getting ripped off with this setup. It's time to make a coke oven. But before we do that, we have to do a little more research into refining coal. Thankfully, we've become masters of researching. Where is refining coal? I hope it's simple. So this is going to unlock the coke oven, and there are no materials to commit. We'll just start it. Wish me luck, my friends. I'm pretty sure this puzzle's not going to be simple. Of course. You know what? I think these puzzles are getting easier and easier. Show me how to make coke bricks. Ooh, that looks a little expensive. And I don't see copper plates being an option. We're gonna have to make bronze or use our iron. But making bronze takes so much time. Every time I want to make bronze, I have to make a brand new clay pot. Fill it with copper and tin. Go outside, place it on the ground, add straw, wood, and then I light it on fire where it takes a year to smelt. I'm sick of that. I wish I could just place the items in a furnace and just let them go. Well, I kinda can. Of course, it does involve researching another item, this time a kiln. I personally think it's worth it because all we have to do is plop the copper and the tin in there and boom, bronze. No convoluted processes like that. Let's go ahead and research one. Now for this to work, we have to commit a vase. I don't think we've ever made a vase before. Oh, the vase is done. Let's go ahead and grab this and offer it to the research table. Alright, we have improved alloy smelting. Now how do we make a kiln? 4 bricks and a bunch of metal I don't have. Ugh, why do they have to be so expensive? I wasn't expecting to have to use even more metal for this. Thankfully, we only need 8 blocks. Alright, let's do it. We're gonna have to pay for this eventually, right? Okay, it took me a while, but I think we have everything we need now. Let's go ahead and craft these bricks. And then this should be the last set. Beautiful. We have ourselves a kiln. Well, kiln bricks. We'll go ahead and place this outside next to our bellows, and then from there we have to assemble it with an engineer's hammer. I hope that crafting recipe is nowhere near as expensive as the structure we're about to assemble with it. Of course it requires some type of metal. I mean, why wouldn't it? It's a hammer. Well, back to processing them. Alright, 2 sticks, a couple iron ingots, and then we have some leather strips that we were able to pick up from one of the chests here. So now that we have an engineer's hammer, let's go ahead and assemble this thing. Ah, there it is. Our means of finally making alloys. We have our copper, we have our tin. Let's go ahead and add them into the alloy kiln, and then we'll use our brand new sawdust briquette to power this thing. And it's not working. What fuel does this take? Oh, I think they already have to be ingots. Wait a minute, we can cook the copper in here. Have to put the raw ore in with coal dust or charcoal dust. That we can do. Thank God we researched this already. Saves us a lot of time. Alright, let's see if this will actually smelt now. Oh, thank God. Okay, we're good. We're safe. So we're just gonna let this cook up. Once the raw copper is converted into copper ingots, we'll do the same for the tin, and then we'll combine both ingots together to make all the bronze we need. And then once we have our bronze, we'll put together our coke bricks, which will finally allow us to make coke coal and, of course, creosote oil. I am exhausted. Alright, so all of this work has caused our chests to fill up. We have so much stuff. We should probably get better at organizing it. On top of that, making regular chests are really expensive. I'm not trying to use creosote oil just to make a chest. Once again, the solution lies in the drawing desk. Our research table knows all. Just a little bit of reading and we'll be able to make this. A classic storage barrel. All we have to do is research better storage. Ah, there you are. So 2 bronze sheets and some wood. Beautiful. How do we craft a barrel? It's kind of the same as making a chest, except we don't have to use treated wood, which is, I guess, a little bit better. Luckily, I still have tons of bronze nuggets, so let's make some more storage. I think that's my greatest fault when I do Minecraft playthroughs. I am just absolutely terrible at organizing items. My inventory is a testament to that. But not this time. This time, we're gonna try to stay organized. Okay, I think 3 barrels should do for now. Alright, so I went ahead and harvested all of the bronze from our alloy kiln. I think we have more than enough to make our coke oven now. But first, let me show you the new setup here. So, we're keeping all of our metals in here. In this chest, anything wood related. And over here, I guess just random ingredients. 35 bronze ingots. Yeah, the power of the alloy kiln. Alright, let's put these together. I think we have enough bricks. 9 coke bricks should be enough to put the coke oven together. No, wait. Oh, no, it's nowhere near enough actually. We're about 1/3 of the way there. For some reason I was thinking I needed 9 bricks for the whole thing. No, it's 9 bricks for each layer. This thing is 3 layers, so 27 bricks total. It took a while, a couple days actually, but let's assemble this and see how it works. So, as you can see, it's just a simple cube, but when we take our engineer's hammer, we can bring it alive just like the alloy kiln. 1, 2, 3, click in the middle. Why isn't it working? Did I miss a block? Does the inside have to have a block too? Wait, let's try that. 1, 2, 3. There we go. There is our concentrated carbon coke oven. Very basic UI. You guys have seen it in a few videos in the past. Let's go ahead and make some creosote oil. Now, aside from coal, which gives you 500 millibuckets, you can also get creosote oil from other sources, like wood. Gives you 250, and of course, coal blocks. That gives you a whopping 5 buckets. So we've kind of solved our fuel problem. We've definitely solved our ore problem. We can smelt them in the alloy kiln. The only problem we haven't solved is our food problem. As you can see, our diet requires a number of different items to stay healthy. Let's take a look and see what we have in the old barrel. What about down here? Oh, here? Oh, okay. So we do have some food. Most of them are emergency rations, and what is that? A frozen white turnip. On top of that, we have some frozen meats, and then we even have a small stockpile of even more frozen meats in the barrels over here. But honestly, it's only day 32, so how long is that gonna last? When it comes to some of our packaged food, well, take a look at this. It suggests that we cook some of it with water, not just the rations, but the biscuits and the vegetables, even the nuts. Well, if we take a look at the potential crafting recipes for the rations, you'll see that you can put them in something called an incubator. I guess the incubator hydrates it and gives you, what, protein or food value? Not really sure. Naturally, the incubator is something we have to research. Now, I'm not entirely sure if the incubator is supposed to hydrate our food, but our food is involved in its processes somehow, so let's go ahead and research this next. There we go, fungus incubator. So we'll have to commit a mushroom and one of those wet briquettes. Oh, we can do that. I swear we had mushrooms here somewhere. They were growing right here, and I demolished the little planter. Ah, there they are. Okay, here is hoping this puzzle is going to be simple. Let's do this. Oh, wow. We never get lucky with these. It's always the fullest ones. Alright, for the sake of transparency, I screwed it up. So here's the next puzzle. Oh. This one looks a little more simple. Alright, one quick line, the puzzle is solved, and now we have fungus incubation. Whatever that is. Please, I hope it hydrates our food. Of all the crafting recipes, I think this one is the most basic. So it looks like the incubator makes mushrooms and protein. And what do we do with protein? We can make milk, chocolate. We all like chocolate. Let's go ahead and make one of these. Not really sure what the point of this machine is, though. Like, are mushrooms that essential? Cultivating mushrooms, I guess they are. So here we go. We have the incubator. You got your little mushroom meter right here, your fuel source, and then this is where you see the progression. Now, one thing I should note is that according to the research table, there is an improved incubator. Maybe this one is a little better, but we can't access the improved incubator until we get this, the steam-powered generator, which requires an energy core. Conveniently, this is the last thing we have to research, at least for now. Oh, wait, what? I could just check that off. Alright, so now that I've checked this off, I think there's a new page in the quest log we have to find. Something about... oh, right here. Okay, this seems pretty straightforward. We're going to need a generator because we're going to be building some more complex machines, like the improved incubator, because this one, for some reason, it only makes mushrooms and chocolate. Ah, the generator. I guess it's also essential for heating the soil, which is going to be essential if we want to farm. I have more frozen seeds, and hopefully this time one of them will be wheat, but we'll worry about these later. If we wanted to plant the seeds, it's not going to work because, as you can see, the dirt is frozen over. Permafrost. We'll have to warm that up, and the generator is the first step towards that process. The first goal is our Tier 1 generator. Must be a big deal because this description says it's the core of this mod pack. A multi-block structure that makes cultivation possible in this frozen world, the generator is essential for our long-term survival. Once constructed, we can install a preheater which will then merge all the blocks together to make this beautiful structure right here. We're gonna need 3 main components. The basic generator core, which we have to research, 8 basic generator amplifiers, looks a little expensive, and of course, making up the main body of the generator bricks. While I was preparing the bricks for our generator, I went to go check on the coke oven, and it is full of creosote oil. I think eventually we're going to produce more than we know what to do with. Well, we're kind of at that point already. Guess we'll make more treated wood later, but yeah, this whole thing worked beautifully. Alright, let's start with the generator bricks. So we have some regular bricks here, and then we have some stone bricks there. I think we need 21? 24 is fine. Next up, the basic generator amplifier. Thank God this one is it's a little expensive, but not too bad. And then finally, the basic generator core, which we're gonna have to research before we can craft that. So where is that at? That is somewhere. I thought it was here. Energy core. So for this one, we have to do the puzzle, give it 1 generator brick, and then another basic generator brick. Seems simple enough. Beautiful. Alright, we've completed the research for energy core repurposing. So according to the modpack lore, we were supposed to grab an energy core from our crash site. I can't craft this one. I'm supposed to use what's already given to us and surround it with copper and bricks. So I think we're gonna have to go back to the crash site, which is all the way over here. I don't remember getting an energy core though. Oh, wait a minute. There's another thing to research. Energy core regain. I accidentally lost, by the way, I don't think the modpack creator's first language is English, so excuse the, the sentences. I accidentally lost my energy core in the frosted land. Maybe I can recall my memory to find it. So I think we have to do this, and then it'll point to the location of the core, which I thought was at the crash site, but based off of this, I guess it could be elsewhere. And to do this, I have to commit 64 copper ingots? Alright, I guess we have to wait. So while we're waiting for that, what do you say we make good use of our time and upgrade our tools? For most of the playthrough, I've been using stone tools, and the problem with those is that they tend to break very quickly. Thankfully, there is another tool set we can use. Bronze tools. But we can take it a step further than just crafting better tools. Introducing the Tetra mod, a mod that introduces the concept of modular tools. We're gonna dissect our tools and make them a whole lot better, but to do that we'll need a special type of crafting table. The first step is to craft any type of hammer, not to be confused with the hammer we've been using. This new one is a little different. Oh my god, I just got a bunch of stuff for crafting this. Like a holosphere. What the heck is a holosphere? Ooh, that is a cool menu. So I'm guessing this has to do with the mod we're just starting. We can work on bows, tool belts, single-headed, don't know what that is, double-headed, blades, crossbows, materials, and shields. Let's start with something simple like a single-headed tool. So it's comprised of 3 things. You got the handle, the head, and the binding. Kind of like Tinker's Construct. There's also a section called STRC, I think that's for structure. Nothing here yet. Along with SYST, probably system. Nothing here as well. So, why did we want this hammer? It's used for multiple things, but our main purpose is to transform this regular crafting table into a Tetra crafting table. or I guess a workbench. And this is going to be our workstation for the rest of that mod. This is a regular crafting table, and this is the Tetra crafting table, which I can't open because I don't know how to use. Let me guess, we have to research it. Yep, that's what I thought. Okay, that didn't take as long as I thought it would. So, we have access to the workbench. Let's go ahead and place it again. And why did it convert back to a crafting table? There, all better. The workbench. Let's put a tool in and see what we get. For example, this basic iron sword. We can now look at the anatomy of the tool. Its speed, its sweeping ability, the damage it does. What is this? It has an iron blade. The hilt is considered flimsy, and the pommel, decorative. Wow, it goes that deep into it all. And then we can even see what stats each of the pieces contribute to the overall weapon. And we can repair it. Although we do have to dedicate some iron. Okay. Oh, I even love how you can see the weapon on top of the workbench. That is amazing. So the workbench is for repairing and modifying, I assume. And then the holosphere is for actually crafting the weapons. Now, I'm just making assumptions. If we want to know how this actually works, we better look at this. So the holosphere is actually an encyclopedia. It's like our book to the mod. If we open it up, we can see the data for different types of tool parts. For example, we are looking how to craft a double-headed item like a pickaxe. It tells you the stats for each type of wood. It tells you the stats for each type of stone, each type of metal, gemstone, and that's just for the pickaxe head. What about the handle? Wood, metal, bone, miscellaneous? This thing has it all, it knows all. Look at that, it even has its own stats. It has a dim core, ancient frame, a scanner, and a repository. I think those are stats, or traits, whatever you want to call them. Let's actually try modifying a tool, like our stone pickaxe here. So let's go to the pickaxe head. Oh, we can change the head material. Copper? And we can see what changes adding copper will make. So it's going to raise the durability by plus 24. Let's do it. And, oh, wait a minute, that was just for the left side? Look at this, we only did the left side, so now we have a copper-stone hybrid. No, I want a full copper pickaxe. Oh, so this is the left head, this is the right head. There we go. Now we have a copper pickaxe. Not much of an improvement from the stone, as you could probably tell by the stats, but that's just an example of how this works and how you can modify your weapons, or even your tools. Let's go outside and check to see if this is done. Thank God. Oh, wait a minute, no, we're too short. Guess we kind of wasted them on the pickaxe, didn't we? Alright, now we have our stack of copper. Let's go ahead and commit this so we can recall where our generator is. Here we go. And of course, one more puzzle. Alright, that one took me a couple tries. For some reason it was trickier. So, do we remember where our generator is, or our energy core? Oh, guess we have to claim the reward. There it is! Look at that, we found it. It was in our inventory the whole time. Thanks, Drawing Desk, for helping us remember that. Did we not get our copper back, by the way? Did I just lose a stack of copper? Oh my god. Well, we're gonna have to go mining later. 4 copper, 4 bricks, and the energy core in the middle. There it is. The basic generator core. Beautiful looking block. We have multiple gems sticking out from each side. At least I think they're gems. Let's go ahead and construct this new multi-block generator to warm up the ground so we can finally grow crops. How does that sound, Wolf? Alright, so picking the location for this is key because it's going to be used for thawing the ground so that we can farm. So where exactly are we going to want to farm? We're on the slope of a mountain here. This is the flattest plane closest to the house. We could also make it work down here. Do a little terrace farming. Actually, no, I think this is... Yep, this is powdered snow. This won't do. We'll have to do it over here then. No, wait, this is snow blocks. We need regular dirt. We need exposed dirt. Something tells me we're gonna have to do a little bit of terraforming. You know what, since we're on the topic of farming, let's go ahead and thaw these turnips. Can we thaw them in the furnace? What about in the smoker here? Let's try that. They do thaw in the smoker. We haven't eaten any vegetables in this video, at least I think. So how does this taste? Not that good. Let's go ahead and make ourselves a bronze shovel. Maybe we can modify this so that it has a lot of durability. So this has no binding. What if we bind it with grass? That does add some durability, but not a lot. It also reduces its speed. What about leather strips? Let's try that. Nope, leather strips seem to work the same as well. You know what, let's just take it as it is. Hopefully we won't have to go too big with this farm. Honestly, I'm not really big on farming, but just because the quest says so, I must. It's not going to be the biggest farm, but it is the closest thing we have to a plain. Unless we build a bridge over there. But I have a feeling we'll want to keep things bunched together. Alright, so looking at this multi-block structure, it looks pretty simple. Yeah, the first layer was nothing but the bricks with the amplifiers in the middle. Let's see if we can do it by memory. I guess we'll put it here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then the amplifiers were shaped like a cross with the quarters filled in. I wonder if this block was hollow. Let me check. Oh, the core goes there. Okay, we'll put the core here. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go ahead and break that block. And then corners again. Fill this in with amplifiers. And then one last block in the middle. I think we can put this together with our hammer now. Here we go. Beautiful. I gotta say, that's a pretty nice looking generator. Tier 1, if you'll notice the name. So how exactly do we activate this? Well, so we have some different gauges, a place to burn fuel, I assume. Let's try to make sense of this. So according to this, generators can burn fuels with high calorific value. So what's considered high calorific value? I guess it's the fuel sources we already have. Charcoal burns at 1,000 ticks. Peat, never made that before, burns at 500. Coal coke, 3,200. The briquette there, 1,600. What is this? Another coal briquette, both of them 1,800. And then a regular piece of coal at 1,600. Let's go ahead and activate this thing, see if it actually thaws the ground. We'll test it out with a few pieces of charcoal, and then if it turns out to be worth it, we'll invest in better fuel. So let's just dump this in here. But for some reason, it's not activating, unless there's a button where we... Oh, right there. Turn on generator. Here we go. So it's burning, and so far nothing. The ground is not thawing. You can see the range increasing, so I assume once this gets higher, we're going to start seeing some regular dirt. It's not really much of a generator, though. It's more of a heater? A big old heater to thaw the ground? Because aside from melting the dirt, what are we actually powering? You can even see the temperature rising here, 3 degrees Celsius, and because I'm American, I don't know what the Fahrenheit conversion is, but 3 degrees Celsius, so now at 4. We also have a new item here, generator ash. And if I remember correctly, generator ash is the stuff we could use to make chocolate, right? Yeah, you can make chocolate bars with this if we combine it with protein. Wait a minute, I'm noticing something. The snow over here looks like it's beginning to melt. Yeah, you can see the snow, it's getting a little patchy, but when is the dirt gonna start thawing? Does the dirt even thaw? Maybe when it reaches this middle right here? But we are going through a lot of fuel. But yeah, you hear all that sizzling? That's all snow melting. Look at that, even down there. Wow, I didn't think it was gonna have an effect like that. Now we have it set to overdrive, which is, it's gonna consume 4 times the amount of fuel, but it should thaw everything faster, and as you can see, the dirt permafrost is being converted to mud. Not sure if that's what we wanted. I wanted dirt. Oh my gosh, this is rising really quickly. I hope it's not a fire hazard. Actually, wait a minute. Can we farm on mud? Let's go see if we can. I'm gonna make a hoe. Let's see if I can actually farm on mud. No, you can't. Are we missing something? How are you supposed to do this then? Oh, those are Chinese characters. I have a feeling that would have been helpful if it was translated. Let's shut this off, because all we're doing right now is wasting fuel. We don't know what we have or how it works. So I just discovered that our glasses have infrared vision. Lets us see the temperature of the soil here. As you can see, there is a big orange circle that's around the generator, shrinking now that the generator is off because heat's no longer being output. But maybe this will give us an idea. Oh, one thing to note too. The mud is freezing over. It's being converted back into mud permafrost. So pretty soon this is all going to be icy again. Look at the map too. You can even see the big circle. So according to this, some of the first things we'll be able to plant are hemp, rye, and white radish. But to do it, we're going to have to wait for a warm spell. If you look at the top, we have a blizzard coming up as indicated by the very large blue bar on my weather forecast. No warm spells in the forecast, so we're going to have to probably hold this off for now. We're going to have to wait out the blizzard, by the way, and I'm going to put my dogs inside because I think they are vulnerable to the weather as well, so we're going to want to keep them out of the snow. You too, mister. Some extra torches on the walls here, that way the dogs won't freeze, because I don't know if I'm going to be able to sustain a fire to heat a space this large. Well, seeing as how we're going to be stuck inside for a bit, we should probably veer off to different technologies. There's a whole world of stuff that we can make, and we can't do it because it's locked behind one thing: the Create mod. Yes, it was only a matter of time before we found ourselves back in the Create mod, a wonderful Minecraft add-on that lets you build your very own factories to automate almost anything in Minecraft. You know what? Looking at it now, I think I may have been wrong about the blizzard. It's just a little cold spell. Let's go ahead and research this. So we have to commit 4 of these bronze ingots here. Let's do that. Of course, they get consumed. And now, a little puzzle. And this is the last one. Beautiful. Now we can learn how to make a cogwheel, small cogwheel, shaft, and a rotational crank. One thing that shocked me was how expensive these Create mod items were. Like this regular cog, 4 bronze sheets. Each bronze sheet requires 2 bronze ingots. So 8 ingots to make 8 cogwheels. On top of that, you have the shaft piece. Usually that's made of andesite, but here it's made out of iron. Iron rods to be exact, which costs 3 ingots for 4 rods. Now, I'm looking at the first bank of double sal here, and it doesn't look like we have that much iron to spare. We do have a lot of bronze, but it won't take us very far. In this instance, there's no magic shortcut or technological solution. Here it's a little more straightforward. We're gonna have to go mining. We could only avoid this for so long, but now the time has finally come to do a little cave diving. Alright, we're in. And thank God we've already found iron. Just what we needed. And some squid tentacles. That was unexpected. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness, I'm a creeper. Wow. I don't even know if I caught the explosion on camera, but you did almost just see me die. We'll have to be a little more careful down here. Are you kidding me? Why are there so many creepers? And why are they textured like that? I can hardly see them. Guess that's the point. Freaking out now. We have some zinc down here too. I'm pretty sure that's a Create mod. Yes, it is. Yeah, that's a Create mod ore, so we'll probably need a bit of that as well. Well, we're in the depths now. At least we'll have the warmth of the lava to keep us alive. There is definitely more iron down here. Okay, we have quite a bit of ore, plus both of my pickaxes are basically broken. So let's get out of here. So before we go about making more of our Create mod stuff, let's go ahead and repair our bronze pickaxe, because this thing was actually pretty good. Unfortunately, to repair it, we're going to need a type of hammer. A tier 3 hammer, if you will. Now the hammer that we have is tier 1. It's as basic as it gets. Not to worry though, a tier 3 hammer is just within reach. We're gonna go ahead and make this thing out of 4 bronze ingots, 2 sticks, and any type of binding string. And now that we have our bronze hammer, let's go ahead and repair our tool. We can allocate, hey, 1 ingot. I wonder how much durability that's gonna give us back, because this thing is completely broken. Is this thing fully repaired? Let's test it. Wow, it is fully repaired. That's a pretty good trade-off. 4 of these sheets to make 8 cogwheels. Hopefully we can make those cogwheels last. So right now I'm having to use the bellows to actually smelt the iron. You can't smelt iron in the alloy kiln. Did not know that. The only problem is that I'm getting kind of sick of having to stand here and pump air into this thing. Thankfully there is a way to automate it, although we'll have to do a little more research. I'll probably just do that off camera and show you the results. But, wait, did it go out? Oh, it's done. Here we go. 4 iron ingots. Wow. And I still have 60 pieces of raw iron to go. Yeah, we're gonna get the mechanical bellows. This is just way better. So to get the automated bellows, we're first gonna have to craft one of these cogwheels here. We took our iron ingots and made shafts, and now we're surrounding it with 4 bronze sheets. This gives you 8 bronze cogwheels. I gotta say, they're a little pale looking, but you know what? Let's not complain. I'm happy to have them. They were expensive. With this cogwheel, we're gonna make ourselves a piston. Let's go ahead and submit this piston. And with that, we finally have a means of making the mechanical bellows. Look at that. It's just a regular bellows surrounded by stone and a piston on the left. I wonder if we can recycle the one we already have. Oh, it's right there. Let's go ahead and take this. And now it's time to turn this primitive caveman tool into a marvel of the 21st century. Here it is, folks. 1 mechanical bellows. Hopefully this thing is going to allow us to automate our iron smelting process. Let's go plug it in and see how it fares. So, this is now attached. There is a piston in the back. I wonder how we use this. I think it needs a redstone signal. Yep, looks like that did it. We're gonna have to make a basic redstone loop. Thank God repeaters aren't locked behind a research paywall. We can craft these now. 1, 2, 3, 4. That should be enough. And maybe this will be sufficient? Let's find out. One of the oldest Minecraft tricks in the book for having a redstone signal pulse over and over. And then we'll space these out. Put the torch. And it's not sending the signal. Maybe it has to be like this. Yeah, we probably just had to elevate it 1 block. And it's still not sending a signal. What gives? Okay, let's try it like this one more time. We'll shift this forward. No, we'll shift this back, actually. 1 block. I'm not a redstone guy. I don't know if you can tell, but I am definitely not a redstone guy. It's a lot of trial and error for me. Hope I'm not the only one in this boat. Okay, finally. This should work. There's no reason that it shouldn't. We have our redstone loop, and then we have a repeater linking directly to the bellows. That should send 1 big, powerful signal so it can go off and smelt. Let's try. And it doesn't work. Unbelievable. Well, that's disappointing. Redstone can't even provide the initial startup stress of the first... Wait. Is it locked? Yeah, I'm so confused. See, according to this, it says operates when receiving a redstone pulse. This is a redstone pulse, right? Okay, so if we null the torch like this with a lever, then that does reset it. You know what it is? I think the loop needs to be longer. I think there has to be a larger delay because it responds well when there's a delay. Obviously, it's registering the redstone signal. The frequency in which it's receiving that signal is too high, though, so we'll leave this alone and come back to it later when we have a means of getting a delay. Thanks to the Create mod, there is something that does just that. It's called a pulse repeater. And with the pulse repeater, you can send a redstone signal to this contraption, and you get to dictate how much time passes before the repeater sends the signal, passes it forward to your location. So we can set a delay of like 10 seconds, 5 seconds, a minute, an hour, whatever we want. Once we have that, this should be automated. At least that's my hope. But to get that, we need brass, a metal we don't have yet. But I have a feeling the means of making it is on the horizon. So we have these cogwheels, but when they're at a standstill, they're as good as useless. We need a source of kinetic energy, something to get those wheels rotating. Now in the Create mod, there are multiple ways to go about that. To do that, we'll use the most basic means, making a hand crank. The hand crank is exactly as the name implies. It's a crank, you rotate it with your hand, and it causes the cogwheel to spin. That provides rotational power to anything attached to the cogwheel, although, like I said, the hand crank is pretty basic. Where'd it go? Oh, it's right there. I wouldn't suggest using this once you start crafting other things, because it can get a whole lot better than this. Now, if we want to be successful engineers, then we need the right tools for the job, like a Create mod wrench. Let's go ahead and commit the cogs we've made. Study this basic paper. My god, I don't know what it was about this puzzle, but it took me like 4 tries. That's the most I've ever had to do to get something. 1 treated stick, 1 cogwheel, and 3 bronze sheets. Gives you a wrench. Beauty of the wrench is that number 1, it allows us to adjust our machines for the Create mod. Plus, we can even harvest the machines if we shift right-click. Best part is, this thing has infinite durability. We got some gold as well. Let's go ahead and press that into some plates. Combine a gold plate with some glass and a leather strip. You have yourself a nice pair of engineer's goggles. Perfect for working on Create mod machines. Let's go ahead and put those on. Oh, look at that. You can even see them right through our helmet. Looks like we're making some decent progress. We've already made a small cogwheel, a large cogwheel, plus a wrench and some goggles. I don't really think we need to make the stressometer. What we do want to focus on is this, a mechanical mixer. The mixer is the next step in our research relationship process, and after that, the crude blast furnace, which, according to the JEI, can smelt tons of stuff, including raw iron. If we can get that, then we won't have to use this machine ever again. Oh, but before we do that, I just realized we have a heat spell. Well, we're at the end of a heat spell. Shoot, we wasted so much time. Alright, here's what we're gonna do. Let's go ahead and take, we gotta run that generator and see if we can actually grow any crops. Where is my fuel at? Okay, we have 4 pieces of coal. That's not enough. Oh well, we'll burn it anyway. Start burning, start burning, start burning. Let's see if we can plant some crops. Let's turn this on overdrive. Ooh, the heat's rising now. I hear things sizzling. Looks like the mud is defrosting. We got our mud permafrost being converted back into regular mud. Can we farm on this now? The temperature's still rising. Go beyond 20. How do you go beyond 20? I think it's just stuck there. Ah, that's a shame. Our heat spell's about to end. So how are we supposed to get dirt? The overdrive is climbing. Maybe once it gets to this range over here, it'll start converting the mud into dirt, but I can't guarantee that. Plus, we're wasting a lot of fuel trying to do this. I think we're gonna have to pull the plug on this, at least for now. There's gotta be a way to get dirt. There has to be. I can't plant these in the mud, and I can't till the ground. Yeah, I'm pulling the plug. We're done. Let's go back to the create mod. This is such a difficult thing to use, unless there's something I'm missing. Can't wrap my head around what it is, though, but yeah, let's move on. Alright, it took a while, but I had to make a cauldron and an iron plate. Let's commit that. We need to examine a whisk and finish a basic paper. Wait. Oh my god, why are these recipes so expensive? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 pieces of iron. Are you kidding me? Not gonna lie, when I picked this mod pack, I didn't think it was gonna be this grindy. Time to process iron again. You know what, let's try this again. I don't want to have to stand here and flip this lever over and over. I have more repeaters. If it's just a matter of extending the delay, then I think we can do that by adding more repeaters. Alright, we cracked the code. Not that it was much of a code, it was just a matter of adding more repeaters. Maybe we'll increase the delay a little. There we go. Yeah, that should work. Alright, now we can fire at more iron. I will need more fuel, though, and to get more fuel, well, we're using the coke oven to convert logs into charcoal. The only problem is that, like I said, we're making more creosote oil than we know what to do with now, so we have to find out how to get rid of the excess. Well, there is something called the oil incinerator. It does just that. 3 bricks and 5 copper sheets. Let's go ahead and put this together. Hopefully it's straightforward. I'd hate for it to have to be powered or... I don't know. There's always some type of curveball with these things. Look at that. It's just burning through the oil. Nice. So this is going to continuously produce charcoal then, which means we're set. And now we just wait for the iron to cook up in here. It's time to craft the most expensive thing yet. A whisk. I don't think whisks use this much iron. I swear, once it examines this, it better not consume it. Oh, thank God. Alright, we have mixing. Finally. Now that we have access to this technology, we have to make a mechanical mixer. Just another expensive waste of iron. As for the mechanical mixer, we're about 3/5 of the way there. We still have to make, what is this, an iron sheet metal block and then an iron ingot. Iron sheet metal, look at that. More iron. Let's make this thing. Bam! We have a mixer. Like I said, crate mod machines are useless unless they have a source of kinetic energy, so we'll just leave that alone for now. Of course, what's a mixer without a mixing bowl? You gotta craft a basin. Now we can think about supplying power to our mixer. Seeing as how we have the means to mix, what do we mix? Well, we're gonna have to mix refractory clay. This is so we can make refractory bricks, which in turn will eventually lead to making blast bricks so that we can make a crude blast furnace so that we won't have to use that, this bellows, to smelt our iron anymore. Yeah, it's quite the rabbit hole. This mod pack, like I said, is a grind, so let's not waste any more time. The goal is to mix 3 ingredients together to make something called fire clay. Of the 3 ingredients, we need clay, bauxite dust, and kaolin dust. Now, we're familiar with bauxite. We actually got it early on in our crash site. As for the kaolin dust, well, I've seen deposits, but I've never actually mined the stuff. I do know where to get it, though. It's not that hard. Thank God, it's pretty common. In fact, there just so happens to be a deposit down here somewhere. Alright, so to find these deposits of kaolin, I think that's how you say that, they're usually found in riverbeds or in badlands biomes. I'm hoping that we'll find some in the riverbed, although getting down there is going to be a little tricky. Now the question of the day, do I dare dive in and see if there's actually any under us? I guess in circumstances like these, you have to be willing to take risks. That is a deep river, by the way. Oh my gosh. Let's go ahead and get some stuff. Oh, never mind. It's right here. Thank God. Oh, we found it. Beautiful. We are in business, folks. Kaolin. Probably want to mine as much as possible, or mark the deposit and come back later. We have 36 of these kaolin clay. Or just kaolin. Is kaolin even a real thing? Hey, we have some more up here too. That's not a riverbed. So the bauxite's gonna have to be ground up in the millstone. Let's go ahead and do that. Why can't I put it in there? Oh, it has to be crushed bauxite. And we have to break it with the hammer. Okay, yeah, that's fair. That makes sense. Let's break this down. And now we have some crushed bauxite, which we're gonna go ahead and grind next. So, we have our crushed raw bauxite. Let's go ahead and grind this up. And now, as you can see, we have bauxite dust. We're going to combine these two in a mixer to make fire clay, but first let's set up our mixer setup. So, we have our mixer here. Let's go ahead and move the tanning rack out of the way. We're not really using that anymore. We'll put a basin down, the mixer on top, then we'll put a large cog right here with a hand crank. Not there. Hand crank is going to go here. Beautiful. And it's overstressed. Shoot, I don't think we're going to be able to power this. Could put a small cog here, but even with that, it's not going to be enough rotational force to actually get this thing to mix. Will it? Actually, it may. Hold on. Let's dump these in here and see what happens. Please work, please work. Yeah, there's no way. Oh, wait, it has to be dust. Okay, there's still hope. And now can we mix them together? Let's find out. No, what are we missing? Oh, we're missing the clay ball. Of course, it is fire clay after all. Okay, now it's gotta work. There we go. And usually this mixer requires way more power, unless they beefed up the power of the hand crank. We have 6 fire clay balls. I think we're gonna need a lot more, but now you know the process. Let's go ahead and get these bricks fired up. And now that we have the bricks, let's go ahead and craft the one block that's keeping us from making the proper furnace we need to smelt our iron. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the refractory brick. And now that we have this seemingly dull-looking block, let's finally commit it to our research of a crude blast furnace. Oh, we need Invar ingots? Oh, thank God, it's just a combination of iron and nickel, which I believe we have already. Ah, yes, nickel, here we go. And smelting the nickel is just like smelting iron. You have to do it on the bloomery. Right, we got our 8 ingots. Let's go ahead and combine them with the iron, which I don't have. Where is my iron? 2? Guess we have to cook more. So now we have the iron. Let's go ahead and combine it in here, and this should give us Invar. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and take this, commit it to the research table. Watch it consume the Invar. Oh, thank God we kept it. Beautiful. We now have the means of making a crude blast furnace. Ah, finally. Things are going to pick up from here, aren't they, dog? So to make a crude blast furnace, we're going to need more of those refractory bricks, Invar sheets, mortar, combine them all together, and that's going to make us a strong brick perfect for smelting iron. And now the time has come to make the first of our blast bricks. And my God, I've said it before and I'll say it again. It is expensive. We got about, God, not even halfway. So here it is, the crude blast furnace. It took a while, but we finally have it. And as you can see, I got a little ahead of myself here and started cooking up some iron. Hence the reason we actually wanted this. It's slow, but it gets the job done. Plus, it eliminates us having to use this sandy brick tuyere, or whatever you want to call it, the bloomery. This takes way too long. And this, well, it's not that much faster. I think it still burns less fuel. Speaking of fuel, once again, we are burning a lot of it, trying to figure out if we can crack the secrets of this Tier 1 generator. For the longest time, we've been trying to thaw the ground so we can actually farm with it. Well, you'll notice that we have a little heat spell going on, and hopefully this will be the day. This will be the one where we can finally grow some crops. Although, we're burning through fuel quickly, so we better find a secondary source soon, or we're going to be in big trouble. We are past the 50% mark on the overdrive. The temperature has not gone up at all, despite the fact that we have this being overclocked. I can't till the soil. I have no idea what this is for. Is it broken? Am I doing something wrong? I don't know. And honestly, I'm not sure I'll ever know. We have moss growing. I don't know if this was here before. I don't know if it was buried under the snow. I doubt it, because this was all snowy. If you want to waste your fuel, it's a generator. Go for it. Be my guest. Okay, my friends, there's no need to despair yet. We're just gonna cheat the system. I got my shovel. Let's go find some dirt permafrost, which I've just discovered that when you put it in a furnace, it converts into coarse dirt. And I believe we can farm on coarse dirt Okay, this should be enough for our test here. Alright, we're about to find out in seconds whether or not this is gonna work. So we have our coarse dirt, beautiful. Let's place that down. And can we till this? I'm hearing tilling sounds, but I don't see a till texture. Wait, what if we pave it with a shovel? No, it's not being paved into a path block. That's a shame. It doesn't work. Okay, well if that doesn't work, how about this? I have a ton of bones here. Let's go ahead and convert them into bone meal. Chop down a couple of these trees. Now we're gonna take this moss, place a bunch of it on the ground because I'm pretty sure trees can grow on moss. And the idea is that once we grow this double spruce tree, it'll be converting all of this moss into podzol. And it ate up all of my bone meal. Huh. Maybe the heater has to be on. Let's try that. Alright, we got the heater burning. Come on. Grow. Please, just grow. Guys, I don't think it's gonna grow. Well, I've tried everything I could. I'm sure there are other things, but honestly, nothing is coming to mind. I'm blanking right now. Strike that. There is one more thing we can do. If we combine mud with something called biomass and mix it together, we get a regular dirt block. To get biomass, we're going to have to create something called a millstone, and with it, we'll grind up leaves, which are pretty abundant in this area, and that gives us a 50% chance of getting biomass. And look at this. According to our quest log, the millstone's not even that far away. Of course, the first hurdle we have to overcome is getting a cast iron ingot. And to get cast iron, we have to once again refine iron through a blast furnace. Shouldn't be too difficult. We already have the means of getting this. Let's go ahead and add our fuel source, throw in our iron ingot, and now all we have to do is wait. Something about the carbon fusing with the iron is going to give us cast iron. While we're waiting for the cast iron to be prepared, let's tackle the next hurdle in our way. We're going to have to craft something called a mechanical press as well. Of course, that's trapped behind this research wall. Thankfully, we were going to have to do this anyway because it's for making our millstone. While I was looking into that, it looks like the cast iron finished. Let's go ahead and claim this. Ooh, that even gave us our quest. Nice. That's perfect because we actually have to commit this. Let's go ahead and submit this. With one of the ingots, we're also going to have to reinvent the propeller. And now we have access to the crafting recipes. We could make the millstone now, but we'd be skipping a step. Honestly, I wonder why they did it this way, because we got access to the millstone crafting recipe first, so shouldn't this be here and the press be there? The press is still locked. And the thing about getting the press was that we couldn't even study this until we unlocked the millstone. I don't know. Swap these and it seems like it'll make more sense. You know what? I don't want a headache. I have the materials. Let's make the millstone. So, we're going to make an andesite casing, strip a log, click it with a cast iron ingot, and there you have an andesite casing. Kind of a strange name, seeing as how no andesite went into this block at all. And then from there, it's just a cog, an andesite casing, and any type of stone. Boom. We have a millstone. Ha ha ha. Which means we can make biomass. Right, it's pretty simple. All we have to do is throw these vines in here, which is what's supposed to happen. Actually, let's move this down a little more. Alright, we'll put this here, that there, and then we just toss the vines in. And this should be sufficient. This better give me the biomass, because I swear getting dirt has been the most difficult thing in this mod pack so far. Alright, should we check? Because it's not going to tell us if it's done. Alright, we have 2 biomass. I'll take it. You know, we could probably make this faster. Let's give that a try. Hopefully it doesn't overstress. We'll add a large cogwheel. Nope, it's overstressed. Alright, that's fine. In total, we have 10 biomass, all from grinding vines in this millstone. Now, it's time for the moment of truth. If we combine this with, what was it? The coarse dirt? Coarse dirt permafrost now. Will it be converted into regular dirt? Let's throw in the coarse dirt, and then we'll throw in our biomass. Will we get regular dirt? I almost had a heart attack. It's mud. Let's gather as much mud as possible, because this stuff is freezing over already. Mud, biomass, mix, give me dirt right now. Oh my goodness. We got it. We have dirt, ladies and gentlemen. 10 pieces. Do you know what this means? It means that we can probably start farming. Although that is a blizzard coming up, and I know that for a fact because there's little ice particles on the forecast. So maybe farming isn't ideal, but at least now we know how to get dirt. We have the means to procure it. And that's all I wanted. This entire video was just how to defrost the ground, and we figured it out. One thing's for sure. These create mod blocks are extremely useful. And so far, all we've been doing is powering them with our own energy. You know, my hunger bar goes down the more I crank this. Now you may recall that there are other means of producing kinetic energy. And this right here, this is what I was talking about. Fluid pipes, pumps, boilers, fluid tanks. All of this is essential for making a steam engine. And once we have a steam engine, we'll be able to power every single Create Mod machine from our millstone to the mixer and then some. Okay, fluid transportation, that is complete. The first thing we'll have to tackle is this, making a fluid pipe. And oh my goodness, I can already tell this is going to be expensive. We're going to have to make copper sheets. And to make copper sheets, we have to combine 2 copper ingots with a hammer at a tree stump. But I'm thinking, what if we just compact them in a mechanical press instead? Instead of 2 to get 1, we can use 3 to get 2. Something about this trade-off is just speaking to me. My point is that this tree stump, it served its purpose. It's time to move on because I'm wasting too much metal with this. Let's go ahead and commit 1 tree stump so that we can finally get our mechanical press. Naturally, of course, to study this, we're going to have to commit 9 iron to make 1 block. Stupidly expensive. We're also going to have to commit our basin here. Let's go ahead and break that with our wrench. And finally, any 2 cogwheels. Of these 3 items, let's see which one we get back. Definitely not the block of iron, because this mod pack is stupidly greedy. Oh, well, guess it was kind to us this time. What about the cogwheels? Will it keep those? Nope, we got those back too. How about the basin? Oh, okay. Well, I take back what I said. We were a little luckier this time. So I've just come to a realization. I've committed all the items, but I can't create a new paper despite the fact that I have a pressure plate and a charcoal pencil, which we've been writing our papers on. And that's because this doesn't just require a regular glue paper. This is a common paper. Well, it should be a common paper. And these materials here, they aren't of common quality. No, we're gonna need the real stuff. An actual bottle of ink and a quill, plus some regular paper. Well, I think this is something we can pull off. Shouldn't be too difficult. After all, it looks like most of the ink is made from generator ash, which we have plenty of. Thank God we have a single feather. Beautiful, we have it. We have our writing utensil. Now we just need something to write on. Let's go make some paper. All we need is 4 sawdust, 1 clay ball, and some water. Alright, all of our ingredients are in the mixer. Let's go ahead and mix them up. And that should give us like a type of paper pulp. The predecessor to paper itself. We are going to have to dry the stuff. Yep, there it is. 3 pulp. Can we hang it on the drying rack? Yes, we can. That should result in some paper. Shouldn't be long now. There they are. Finally, let's see if we can actually complete our research. So we'll take these old ones out and put the new ones in. Here we go. Oh my God. What have I gotten myself into? You know, maybe it's not as bad as it looks. Yeah, it's just a little intimidating, but we're breezing through this. I'm gonna be so sad if I screw this up. It's going so well right now. No way we got it on our first try. Unbelievable. We did it. Beautiful. All right. That took a little longer than I hoped, but we got mechanical cold molding, aka the press. Please don't be expensive to make. Please don't be expensive to make. We need a block of steel or a block of cast iron. We can do cast iron. All right, we have our steel ingots here. Let's go ahead and convert them into a block of cast iron. I don't know why I called it steel. It's cast iron. 1 casing, 1 block of cast iron, and a shaft. There we go. We have ourselves 1 mechanical press. Finally, we can get more bang for our buck when we crush these ingots. Let's go ahead and swap this out right here. And there we go. We have 2 copper sheets for the price of 3 ingots. Not a bad trade if I do say so myself. It's almost 1 copper for every sheet. Combine the copper sheets with copper ingots to get yourself some fluid pipes. Now that we have our pipes, we need a means of pumping liquid through them. So it's time to get a mechanical pump. The mechanical pump crafting recipe is a little more straightforward. All you have to do is add a cog and well, there you go. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you one mechanical pump. Let me show you how these pipes work. So, it's pretty simple. You just place them down and that's about it. They're going to flow wherever you have the pump pointing to, and that little arrow indicates the direction of the flow. So if we had water, it's pointing down, so it would go that way. With our wrench, we can even customize our pipes. Say you want to see through them. Well, you just right-click them, and now your pipes are transparent, and you'll actually see the fluid pass through in real time. Next, we're going to need somewhere to boil our water for our steam engine. Naturally, we have to make a boiler. Not just that, also something called a burning chamber. Now this is deviating from the traditional create mod path. Usually you'd use something called a fluid tank, but I guess they wanted us to make a boiler? For this we'll need some bronze sheets as well as a fluid pipe, and that gives us one boiler block. I got a feeling we're gonna need more though, because the more blocks you add, the higher fluid capacity, which means more steam, more power. Baby steps though, no need to get ahead of ourselves here. By the way, shouldn't it be snowing by now? Wonder what's going on with this weather, unless this biome just doesn't get snow. That's probably the case because if you look at the top, it says we should have a blizzard right now, but these skies, they don't look very stormy. Oh well. So the next thing to make is the bronze burning chamber. 4 bronze sheets, 3 of these refractory bricks, and a copper sheet on top. We have what looks like a type of bronze-capped furnace. Not really sure how this is gonna work, so let's go ahead and ponder the schematic to see how we assemble this all. There's a lot more to this than I thought. So we need what looks like a flywheel, there is our tank, there's a fluid tank, by the way. That's usually what you use, and it's gonna pump water into this boiler. And then we burn stuff in the burning chamber. Everything in the boiler is gonna turn into steam, and it's gonna go through the flywheel, which is gonna rotate, giving us rotational power for all of our machines. At least, that's how I interpret it. Wow, we have our work cut out for us, and honestly, I don't think this space is going to be big enough for that.